For centuries, masterpieces have been characterized by the rendering of light, seeking realism, drama, and symbolism. Raimondo Galeano, on the other hand, chose to start with the opposite, the darkness, from which intriguing luminescent images can emerge. Let's go see them in Venice.
For the first time, after centuries of painters studying the effect of light, someone has decided to observe the dark and transform it into a canvas which is able to host forms and visions. He is called Raimondo Galeano, and his experimentation was exhibited at the Ivory Coast Pavilion at the Venice Biennial. A liquid work that can be transformed by visitors because it is made of an impalpable material, light.
One day, I happened to read 2 lines in a magazine, a few words so important for my future. It was a quote by Newton, which reads, "The color on the objects we see does not exist." And from this point, I started to study light. The scientific fact that color does not exist because colors are frequencies of light was my departure point from this wonderful adventure of painting with light. I then discovered that light is not so easy to manipulate and control because light is alive. For example, observing one of my paintings in the dark, we can see that as time passes, the light changes continuously. In some ways, each time you look at one of my works, you have a different perceptual experience.
Artists and spectators become navigators of the cosmos. This is the title of Galeano's work that recalls science fiction literature. Really, the navigation in the dark that the artist proposes is the experience that the painting promises, and the way in which the artist establishes a relationship with the public.
I have always wanted the audience to become the protagonists, so that they could touch the work with their hands and be a part of it themselves. So through the techniques I have developed, thanks to the use of light at different intensities, my paintings can also possess an interactive dimension. The viewer can touch the work, and with a small light, they can draw on the painting, make prints, take a picture. But the meaning of this interaction is to let the viewer enter into my work, both physically and symbolically.
Navigators of the Cosmos shows the relationship between light and shadow, day and night, reality and fiction, and it achieves this through special luminescent powders formulated and produced for the first time by Galeano.
At a certain moment, I threw away the colors from my life, and I began to find different pigments. I found these powders that have a photoluminescent effect. Obviously, there was not a can with the light already made, so I took these powders and I experimented with new techniques. I tried to find a medium with some resins in order to obtain a luminescent paint that could be used on the canvas. This totally turns the concept of painting on its head. I used to paint in full darkness, so it was a real adventure. Also, it took a long time because I had to discover new pictorial techniques to succeed in painting with light. I had to experiment and invent.
Galeano's artistic career was initiated by a meeting with the key figures of Italian pop art, Mario Schifano, Tano Festa, and Franco Angeli. It was a casual meeting in a cafe in the city of Bologna. Galeano began to paint on canvas, but from the 90s his research was focused on the light. After his Venetian adventure, the artist went to New York to open a new gallery, the NonFinito Gallery, owned by an Italian family of builders who decided to invest in contemporary art. Their aim was to find a fusion between art and architecture. Eraldo and Emilio Barletta fell in love with Galeano's work and decided to support him for the Venice Biennial as a starting point, and then to continue with a solo exhibition in the United States.